Hello, everyone. Well, we are bringing a very interesting topic: sound healing. How do different type of sounds affect our health, and how do they start the healing process? With Cary. Cary is a sound healing therapist joining me live right now. Welcome, Terry, and namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So let's just start with the basics of mechanics of how does sound healing work in our bodies.
Sound healing works through the laws of physics, and that's the study of energy and vibration. So, if you consider the human body as part of the universe is made up entirely of energy, frequency, vibration, and that goes for our bodies and minds as well. So, from our bones and brains and tissues and organs, all the way down to the smallest atomic particle of our beings, everything in the body and mind has its own vibration or frequency. So when someone is suffering from a chronic disorder or mental or emotional concerns or wounds that are not healing properly or some kind of disease that they're faced with that they're working through and looking for therapies and treatments and so forth, you can consider low vibrations or vibrations that are have gone out of tune in the mind and body as being primarily responsible for that state of dis-ease. So sound healing works through vibrational technique. I use certain types of instruments and I play them in typically hour-long sessions. And what it's doing is all of those sounds and vibrations that are going out into the room are being absorbed by the minds and bodies of the participants. And each of those vibrations, uh, there's a law of physics. I'll go into one. It's called sympathetic resonance. And that law of physics states that any low vibration, when it comes into contact with the vibration where it most naturally wants to be, it will automatically start to synchronize back to that higher vibration. So, what we're doing during a sound bath or a sound healing meditation is raising all the low vibrations in the mind or the body back to their optimal states of resonance. And the health benefits are pretty endless. Very, very easy way to add to your overall health and wellness program.
That's incredible. So let's just talk a little bit about different type of music that we need for calming. I mean, someone who's gone through a surgery is not going to start listening to rock and roll, right? So where does that line, where do you draw the line?
Right. Well, one thing that's important to note is that our mental health, the way that we approach healing, has everything to do with the way that we're thinking about that healing. Are you sending the message from your mind into your body? I am healing. I am getting better every day. Or is one stuck in a negative thought process, such as I'm never going to get better. I'm not healing. And the mind is so powerful and such a critically important part of healing the body that if you are telling yourself, I'm never going to get better, this is as good as it's going to get, I'm never going to be normal again, then your body's listening to those messages. That data is being imprinted into the body, and the mind is telling the body, well, you're not going to get better. So our attitude, our mental approach to healing is everything. It's such a critical part of this because the mind and the body are not separate from one another, and the mind heals the body, all in those messages that the mind is sending out to the body. So a positive state of mind is absolutely critical to the healing process. So I think that that's important to note and to start with. But most of the reason why diseases and disorders occur, probably 90% of the reason, is because we've gone through so much of our lives with repressed emotions, with traumas that have happened to us over the course of our lives that have embedded themselves into the body. And when we are in a state of chronic stress for too long of a period of time, then that creates an inflammatory environment in the body, which makes one much more susceptible to the development of some kind of disorder or the onset of an illness of some kind. So, what sound healing does is it drops the mind into the meditative state, which is the state between sleeping and waking. It is a brainwave state called the alpha theta brainwave state. So it's that subconscious area between sleeping and waking. And so that's what a sound healing meditation is designed to do, to allow the mind to lose focus, to turn off that fight or flight stress response, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which controls the feel good chemicals, the calming nature of the parasympathetic nervous system deactivates the stress response. So it relaxes the body, it drops your blood pressure, it lowers your body temperature, it decreases the rapidity of your breathing, allows you to breathe deeper. And during that time, I'm playing instruments. As I mentioned before, the vibrations from the instruments are being introduced to the mind and the body. The body is so divinely designed that it's absorbing all those frequencies, saying, oh yes, I want this one. This is what I need in this part of the body, in different chakras. And it's restoring those vibrations back to their optimal states of frequency. Another important thing to note is that states of low vibration in the mind are fear, anger, hatred, those types of things that keep us in a low vibrational state. A higher vibrational state is feelings of love, feelings of acceptance, feelings of joy, keeping that positive mindset, which we were just talking about a moment ago. And then the highest state of vibration is in the meditative state. So if we can achieve that meditative state, even if it's just for 1 hour a week, then you're doing a lot of good for your mental and physical well-being, if that all makes sense.
No, I think that's beautiful. Let's just talk a little bit about what type of instruments that you use, and if you can do a small demo of any instrument.
Well, one thing, I'll start with the crystal bowl. So this is called a crystal singing bowl, and each of crystal singing bowls, it's ideal if you want a set of these to get one in every note of the octave scale. So C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Each of those notes that I just mentioned correspond to a different chakra in the body. So C is the root chakra. The note of D is the sacral chakra in the womb area. Your solar plexus chakra in the stomach area is E. F is the heart chakra. G is the throat chakra. A is third eye. And then B is the crown chakra. So for example, here, this bowl that I have is the C. It's the root chakra. And these bowls are like laser beams into your chakras. The energy centers in the nerve centers, the energy centers along the spine and in different parts of the body, going all the way up to the brain. So when I use the crystal bowls, these are going straight into those chakras and working out the imbalances, getting those energy centers to flow more naturally as they were designed to do. And, you know, it just depends upon who's listening. What instruments do people prefer? Some really love the crystal bowls. Some really love the Himalayan or Tibetan singing bowls, which are made of a 7 metal alloy. They're also chanted into the Tibetan bowls as they're being created in Nepal and Tibet. And so as they're being made, they're all handmade. And as they're being made in that part of the world, those monks or those artists are chanting blessings into the bowls as they're being made. So this is one example, the crystal singing bowl. I play different note combinations, such as, now this was one of the toughest things about my training, was the music theory, because I wasn't really, I didn't have a lot of musical inclination when I was growing up. So the music theory and the seconds and thirds and the triads, the different combinations of notes that you can play when, say, you're playing 2 or 3 bowls together, those produce different health benefits. So, such as C, E, and G, those three bowls together, the mantra with playing the C and then the E and then the G in succession is joy, feelings of happiness. So I really like to play those three together to promote that peacefulness, to promote that feeling of joy. People are under lots of stress these days, more so in the last 2 years than ever. So I am all about relaxation. I am all about a blissful, beautiful experience. So the crystal bowls are a really important part of the compilations that I play every week when I gather people together. Another real favorite is called a koshi chime, Koshi, and these are bamboo chimes. They come in sets of four. You can buy them individually, and they represent the elements of earth, fire, air, and water. And these are a big favorite with people. A lot of times when people give me feedback afterwards, they say, I went back to feeling like a child, childhood memories when they hear these. So just another example of something very easy and simple that produces a really beautiful calming effect. I play two of them together usually. These are earth and water. I also have quite a few of my own downloads that I've downloaded on my phone that I meditate to from time to time. And I have, I think it's called 50 Songs for Gong Meditation. And you can hear these in the background of practically every one of the recordings on that compilation. So, and then the other one that I have, don't have my gongs handy, but I have a couple of gongs, a 30-inch and a 26-inch. Those act as a complete vibrational reset from head to toe because there's such a huge multitude of different vibrations coming out of the gongs. So if anybody's having some trouble quieting their active mind, they've had a lot of stress going on, a really busy day, maybe they came in right at the last minute and they're having a hard time settling in and getting really comfortable. After the first few minutes, I play the gongs for about 20 minutes in the middle of an hour-long session, and that will pretty much deactivate that stress response. That's when people tell me that they had that feeling of I was here, but I was not really here, and that's when I know that they did go into the meditative state because that's the feedback that you're looking for. This right here is called a weighted ohm fork. It's a tuning fork. If you're familiar with tuning forks. Also a very, very popular sound healing instrument. And this one is, I believe it's tuned to, this is a heart ohm tuning fork, and it is tuned to 136.1 hertz. So it's really great for putting on different areas of the body, such as tight or tense muscles. And you can feel the vibration going in. You can also just very gently move it around the head. I know it's hard to hear on this recording, but I can hear a gentle vibration. And these are things that anybody can do at home. Even if you don't have access to sound bath meditation, there's not something in the area where you can go and join. It's really simple to just have a couple of your own instruments around just to play them when you need a little vibrational reset. So that's just a quick example of a few instruments that I have. I really like to mix them all up, do some chimes, some gongs, all of my different bowls. I have a crystal pyramid that makes really otherworldly sounds, and I could keep buying them, but I really need to kind of cool it on that because I won't have enough room to store everything. But that's just a quick intro of some different types of sound healing instruments. There's also the Aboriginal didgeridoo, if you've seen that before. It's a 7 or 8 foot long wind instrument that makes that low vibrational sound. That's one of the oldest sound healing instruments that exists in the world. So we're talking about a modality that has been around longer than our Western medicine, longer than any other medicinal practice. This is back to shamanic times. This is the indigenous tribes all over the world, in countries, of course, all over the world. Drumming. The ancient Greeks used flutes to cure mental illness. So this is something that has been utilized for thousands and thousands and thousands of years to heal the body in a natural way.
I think it's fascinating how this different type of sounds, like you demonstrated, can help start calming our, nervous system and parasympathetic system that you talked about. This is just a quick intro we wanted to bring, and we are launching workshops where we will have more detail on the sound therapy as well. Thank you so much, Cary, for just an insightful and beautiful journey into the sound therapy that you mentioned and you shared with all of us. I really want to thank you. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, beautifully the way you described the whole thing.
Thank you so much. It is really a mission in my life to introduce this to as many people as I can. It's something that we should have had access to our entire lives. And when I discovered it, it was such a transformative moment after that first hour that I experienced it myself, that I knew that I had to explore this further. And I'm now making a whole life's mission out of it. So thank you very much for helping me spread the word.
Absolutely. For everyone else, thank you so much for your support. We are launching a lot of programs this month, hopefully by the end of the year. And stay tuned and keep supporting us on a daily basis. With that, have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.